A couple of you guys have been asking me how has the chair been since I got it 3 months ago. It's been pretty solid. This is the C7 ergonomic office chair from FlexiSpot, who is also happening to sponsor today's video. As someone who's literally attached to their computer most of the day, having a good chair is key. Before I was using some off-brand gaming chair, but it definitely wasn't as comfortable as I wanted it to be. I wanted something a little bit more ergonomic that was also mesh. FlexiSpot sent out this one for me. It's got a number of seating adjustments, and which I actually don't end up using them all because I just don't find the need for them, but you might. From your usual height adjustments, tilt adjustments, you even got like a depth adjustment for your seat, so you can have it pushed up further if you wanted to, or pushed all the way back. Good lumbar support that kind of just moves along with the chair if you move back. And I personally like how far you can actually go back with this thing. Chair has good weight capacity, can support up to 300 pounds. Not that I'm 300 pounds, but comfortable in most positions, even when I like sitting like L from Death Note. Mesh design, breathable and comfortable for long periods of sitting. 30-day free return policy and a 10-year warranty. FlexiSpot is also having a Labor Day sale up to 60% off now and a chance to win free orders. Use the exclusive code on screen to purchase the C7 now. So if you're in the market for a chair, click on the links in the description or the pinned comment. Thanks. Today's video we have is Arknights' Schwarz Elite 2 from Alter 1/7 scale. Now this originally came out in December of 2023, so it's been like half the year basically. Might as well finally open this bad girl up. So without further ado, let's unbox this thing. Alright, so there you have it. This is Arknights' Schwarz Elite 2 1/7 scale by Alter. Now to rewind it back a little bit, we'll talk about the box real quick. So it is a decently sized box. Now it's not an amazingly designed box. I do think it's a little bit more on the minimalistic side. It doesn't like scream, oh my god, amazing box to me, but it's decently cool, right? Like on the front, you have a giant render of the Elite 2 figure. On the side, you got some text, Schwarz. Same goes for the top. On the other side, you do have a close-up image of the figure. And then on the back, you have Schwarz again, sniper icon with the siesta icon. Now inside the box, you will have 2 blister packaging. And inside of those you will get the base, which comes in 3 parts essentially. So you have the main big plastic circle portion. It's not just a simple black piece of plastic, which I can appreciate, right? It's actually got a little bit of design going on with the Schwarz text and the siesta icon, the 2 of the red lines, and you got a little bit of like a rocky gravel look to it. It's also slightly textured as well, so it's not like smooth plastic. I can appreciate that. Makes it feel a little bit less cheap. The second main portion of the base is this rocky formation with a briefcase and some paper on top of it. Extremely well detailed base from the rock all the way to the briefcase. I mean, for a figure that is quite expensive, you would expect them to have a little bit more over the top details than expected. The briefcase definitely shows that. Like the belt buckles even have those little divots. Heck, even the paper on top has some writing on it. Fire effects look cool. Very nice gradient of like purple and red and white just kind of all meshed together. And then the third piece of the base is another rock formation with some fire effects that you put on at the end. Aside from that, you do get her crossbow, which I think is extremely well detailed. Probably one of the most well detailed weapons I've ever had on an anime figure before. And this thing looks killer, by the way. Like, look at the design on this thing. You also get this little, I don't know what you would call it, a canister for her arrows. Very nice. Her ponytail comes in a little plastic bag. Very cool. You get a support rod for her because she essentially attaches to the base via one one peg on her foot, so she will lean a little bit, or a lot actually, without the support peg. So necessary evil right there. And this also did come with a bonus keychain from Ami. Now I don't actually have that anymore. I think I might have left it in the Ami box when I first opened it up back in December, and I probably threw it out. That's a rip. One extra thing you will have in the box: screws and a screwdriver. This is the first time I've ever had a screwdriver come with a figure. Very nice of them to add that altar. I'm pretty sure they did it this way, so it was just easier to package the base separately into pieces rather than just having it all in one piece and then shipping it in the blister packaging like that. So in terms of assembly, it's very straightforward. Just follow the instructions in order. So first you'll attach the base together, put the rock formation inside of the circular base. There's a little divot in the middle, obviously, for the rock formation. Push that in, flip it upside down, put the screws in, and screw them on tight. Make sure they're tight because you don't want this thing like shimmying around when you have the figure on top of it. That'll be bad. After you do that, you can slide in Schwarz on the middle peg that's on top of the briefcase. Then you can add the canister on the back of her jacket. There's a little red peg for it. Slide that in. Then you can slide in the ponytail in the back of her head. Slide on the crossbow. There's a little bit of a divot underneath that goes right on top of the handle that's already in her right hand. Then you can attach the last portion of the base. And then the last thing that's probably going to be a big pain in the butt for most people is the support rod. Now, according to the instructions, the support rod has to be on the back of the butt of her gun. This is pretty much physically impossible because the butt of her crossbow gun is too close to her torso, so the transparent rod can't like get in and get a good grip because it's like too close to her body, so you can't physically put it in. The best I could possibly do is have it a little bit on the edge. As you can see, it's not a fully snug fit. It's literally just hanging off the edge, which I think is good enough just for some support. Little bit of a poor design choice. It's really hard getting into the right position as well because you have to do this like underneath her arm and jacket, and it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to kind of fiddle it around while this thing is kind of blocking your pathway. So now the figure itself, it's based off of the Elite 2 artwork from the game, and I would have to say it is pretty accurate. There's a couple of differences in terms of like color, I would say. Like for example, the big one is her jacket. So the jacket on the figure at IRL is a little bit opaque and transparent, which is kind of what it looks like in the artwork anyways, right? But in the artwork, there's like a splash of color. So you have a little bit of like turquoise blue in there, a little bit of red. But on the figure, it's literally just like an opaque, transparent plastic piece with a little bit of a hint of pink color to it. But I feel like Alter could have added just maybe a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, make it look a little bit more accurate. I think that could have totally been possible. That's kind of like the only difference. Everything else is pretty spot on point, like the facial expression, one-to-one with the artwork. You have like that deathly stare that kind of just stares into your soul. Figure is super well detailed from the top of the crossbow all the way down to her boots. Hair detail is super sharp, especially the paint job. The paint transitions on this figure are very good. All the little details on the outfit, with the honeycomb grid behind her shorts, the belt buckles, the little bullets, the zipper on her jacket, her scarf. Even the duffel bag on her right arm is pretty well detailed. Like on the side, it has some like side pockets that are actually textured. Definitely not necessary, but they did it anyways, which is pretty cool. Heck, they even captured the little sign of infection, as you can see on her left leg. Attention to detail, folks. Very dynamic pose as well. It is a little bit wobbly because she's only, of course, attached via one peg on her foot. So it's definitely not a figure that you want to touch too often. Display it and forget it. Oh, well, not forget it, but like you get what I'm saying. Now, due to the crossbow height, she won't fit in a detail standard. But if you are one of the people that have the U-bolt trick and you've adjusted your height for your detolfs, she will fit that way. So, oh, I actually just noticed, but she's actually wearing a headset over her left ear. Another detail that I missed out that is crazy. My overall favorite part of the figure is definitely her stomach, because good God, the definition on this thing, superb. Definitely one of Alter's best. Schwarz fans, 45,000 yen, a little bit expensive, but totally worth it if you're an Arknights fan. You can still get her on Ami, I believe, at MSRP retail price. I don't think she's ever going on sale. Again, I don't exactly remember how much I paid for shipping, but shipping will vary depending on where you live anyways and what shipping method you choose. So Arknights figures that are coming out soon. I believe we do get Mumu's figure later this month. I think she's actually coming out in like a week. I probably won't get her until like mid-September, but super excited for that. Okay, now here's the reason why it took me so long to make this video. Where the hell am I going to put this now?